everybody. Today's lesson is kind of short. I've been a little stressed and slacking this week, but I learned a great lesson this week. It's about not having fear. Um, in 4, in 1 John 4:18, it says, "Fear is not of the Lord." So we're not supposed to be a fearful people, but it's very easy to fear, and Satan puts it in your thoughts, and the flesh puts it in your mind so often and so easily. This week, I had a day where I slipped away from God, and I was deceived. I felt like, well, if I do stand my ground and I do this, I'm gonna lose what I thought was so great, And my boyfriend was like, "Hey, let's go to church together." So we went to church, and they were talking about fear. And I go to Celebrate Recovery, to keep my mind focused on the things that'll keep me out of my flesh and out of my old ways. And they were talking about fear, and they were talking about how fear can keep you from making the right decisions, and fear can keep you from living for God. The decision to live for God is not always easy. We do a lot of things that we know people won't find acceptable or cool or whatever. And the minute I heard that, I knew I had to make a stand. I had to stand for who I was. I could not let anybody, no matter how much I love them, get in the way of my relationship with God. So I didn't let fear consume me. And I stood my ground. I said, "Look, God is number one in my life. I'm going to continue to live that way. Even if I messed up, that's fine. I don't have to stay down." I refuse to stay down nowadays. And that has been such a blessing to me, because you don't have that condemnation, because you know you're doing the right thing. Okay, I'm in the flesh, I messed up, but am I going to stay in it? And I think that's the biggest thing about this living in this life. We are going to mess up, we are going to stumble, but it's what we do with that mistake. Are we going to learn from that mistake, or are we going to live in that mistake? I wish I was perfect. I wish I didn't mess up. I try day to day to do the right thing. When I mess up, I'm like, "Oh, I almost made it this long, or almost made it that long." And I get really frustrated with myself, but I'm like, why can't I just stay doing what I'm supposed to do? But God is showing me that what makes you stronger is not staying in it when it does happen, if it happens, because sometimes it doesn't. Like, I gave up alcohol, and I haven't drank in a year and 5 months. That's one of the obstacles I've overcome. But there's other areas of my life where I haven't been as successful, but I don't see it, and I make a vow that I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep striving, and I'm going to keep putting God first, no matter what it means. If that means losing certain people in my life, then that's what it means. But God has to remain number one. And that's part of the reason I'm doing this Bible study right now, because I don't want my life to change because things in my life have changed. Things in my life can change, but my relationship with God cannot. So, I don't ever want to lose sight of the gifts God's given me. I don't ever want to lose sight of what He's doing with me. And I don't ever want to lose sight with my relationship with Him. I've had so much joy, so much happiness, so much peace, that I don't want any situation in my life to change it. So don't let fear drive out your God and your goodness. Keep fear at bay. Tell Satan to get behind you, and know that no matter what decision you make, as long as you're making the right, godly decision, and you're not willfully living in sin, you're not continually doing the wrong thing just because you're scared of the reaction people might have, then you're doing what you're supposed to in God, and God will be there for you, and your relationship will continue to strengthen and continue to grow. So do not let fear consume your decisions, and do not let fear drive you away from God. Stay focused in God, stay put in God, and don't ever give up on God, because God has never, ever, ever given up on you. Have a great day.